Ahmed Black reports.
It's a historic Easter weekend, and the world is proving to be quite adaptable. Mass gatherings banned, and much of the world homebound during the COVID-19 crisis. Easter plans and services aren't canceled, but they are being amended. In Rome, instead of outside in St. Peter's Square, Pope Francis held Easter Mass indoors. While practicing social distancing, he was joined by a handful of clergy and nuns, all while live streaming the service worldwide. And across the pond, the Queen said we need Easter now more than ever, but calling on our collective responsibility to stay home.
Easter will be different for many of us. But by keeping apart, we keep others safe. But Easter isn't cancelled. Indeed, we need Easter as much as ever.
And closer to home, Premier Doug Ford and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau both sending out their well wishes, but stressing the importance of physical distancing during the holiday weekend.
And let's put it into practice. Do not approach the Queen. Do not approach the Queen. As ourselves, by making sacrifices to protect their health. Let's stay home for them.
In a statement, Ford reassured kids that the Easter Bunny is indeed an essential worker and will be delivering chocolates and candies as per usual. I'm Meg Black.
A seniors home in Brandon has confirmed an outbreak after 16 residents and 4 staff members were confirmed to have tested positive for COVID-19. The Holland Christian Homes say staff at their Grace Manor location are self-isolating at home now. In a statement, the home says preventative measures are still in place and all usual outbreak control practices are being conducted. The seniors agency says all residents and staff are having their temperatures checked twice daily, and anyone showing any respiratory symptoms will be tested.
The facility in Markham for adults with physical and developmental disabilities remains in a state of emergency. On Thursday, dozens of staff members walked off the job after they learned that 10 residents and 2 employees had tested positive for COVID-19. 40 patients in the facility require full assistance from staff. Several managers had to step in and get on the front lines to replace missing workers. Markham Mayor Frank Scarpetti is asking anyone who can donate items like gloves, masks, visors, or other PPE to come forward.
And healthcare workers are calling out the government for failing to protect those who are trying to protect the public. Tina Yazdani from City News has more.
An ever-growing shortage of gowns and N95 masks as worldwide demand for the critical supplies soars amid the pandemic. We spoke with a number of nurses on this Easter Sunday who wanted to remain anonymous in order to protect their jobs. They tell us they are forced to sometimes beg for supplies.
That's where the anxiety is the lack of PPE, and it just feels like you're being thrown to the wolves.
They tell us the government is maintaining an average 5-day supply of personal protective equipment at hospitals across the province and replenishing at that level for now until supply chains improve. So far, at least 777 healthcare workers have tested positive for COVID-19 in Ontario. That's roughly 12% of all cases in the province. Healthcare workers comprise only 3% of the population, meaning the infection rate is 4 times higher than normal. For City News, I'm Tina Yazdani.
680 News Time, 7:38. At a time when Ontarians are being asked to stay home, some nasty weather is going to make that a lot easier to do. Here's 680's Zahir Hashimi.
The weather we have coming up is going to make you want to embrace the quarantine. We're expecting 30 to 40 millimeters of rain across the region, and it only gets worse. Our meteorologist Jason Fraser says tomorrow we might hit a high of 16 degrees, which is great, but after that, it's going to get cold, and we might even see some snow.
We're going to see some much colder air below normal temperatures. By Tuesday, we're only going to see a high of about 6 degrees, and by Wednesday, it only improves maybe by about another half a degree to 1 degree or so. So get ready for some much colder weather for this week.
Jason adds that it's probably going to get slippery, so if you're leaving the house for essential reasons, of course, make sure you watch out for that. Stay safe. I'm Zahir Hashimi.
Still to come on 680 News, traffic and weather together, but first we'll check where the price of gas is heading at midnight. 680 News Time, 7:39.
Hi, Tom Rokiki here of Inline Fiberglass Windows and Doors. I am proud to be living and working here in the Greater Toronto Area. All of us are so lucky and blessed to be part of this strong community, province, and country. At this time, I feel it is important to remind all our friends, family, and employees to keep an eye on one another, especially the most vulnerable. Let's also come together in support of the heroes on the front lines. Together, we will get through this. Thank you.
Now, the 680 News gas price update. Empro predicts the price of gas will not change at midnight. It's holding at 77.9 cents a liter at most GTA stations. Traffic and weather together next. 680 News Time, 7:40.
The bakery with your go-to comfort treats.
The local pub you go to celebrate Fridays.
These local businesses make our city great, but things have changed.
We will recover, but these places may not. Hi, it's Steve Roberts. By supporting local, you can help keep the places you love open. From shopping online to signing up for online classes or even ordering takeout, it all starts with you. To submit or find a local business to support in your area, visit 680news.com/support local.
Operation Support Local. We're all in this together.
Hey, why isn't your girlfriend drinking? I offered her one and she said no. She's not feeling well.
She's fine. She's just pacing herself.
Ah, she can't keep up with you.
Man, look at the size of her. I've got a good 60 pounds on her. Of course she can't.
Studies show that when a man and woman drink the same amount of alcohol under the same conditions, a woman's blood alcohol level will be higher due to biological differences. Speak your mind. Change the conversation.
Sick in the head, and the doctor can't fix me with meds. I got holes in my legs.
41, time for traffic and weather together on the ones in the traffic center. Here's Caroline Donahue. This report is brought to you by MNP. Westbound 401 right now, the main problem from Mississauga Road to Winston Churchill, all lanes on the highway are shut down, and that's due to a vehicle fire cleanup. So you can use Derry, Steeles, or the 407 as alternate routes. They're all moving up to speed right now. The Mississauga Road ramps to the West 401 are also shut down because of this fire, and eastbound 401, they've taken out the left lane at Winston Churchill for the cleanup as well. So it's kind of encompassing both lanes, both sides of the highway there, but westbound 401 closed, eastbound 401 open. Other than that, your major routes, great shape. We're not seeing any delays, any construction, no collisions on your major highways in the GTA. So that is good. On our city streets, a few things here. North and southbound Bathurst closed from King Street to Fort York for police investigation. And westbound Highway 7 at Bayview is closed as well. So if you're on Bayview and we're planning on going onto the westbound Highway 7, you're going to be forced to go east. During these challenging times, MNP would like to thank all of our frontline workers, and to everyone, stay safe. From MNP 310 Debt. Your next report's at 7:51 with the forecast. Jason Fraser.
We'll see mainly cloudy skies for the rest of this evening, and overnight we could even see some rain develop as well. Tomorrow morning, can't rule out the possibility of some thunderstorms also moving into the GTA, and that's all because we're going to have a lot of warm air push across our region. We're talking about a high temperature of 16 degrees, and some rain showers will develop. We could end up seeing anywhere between 10 to 20 millimeters of rainfall, and some winds gusting up to 80 kilometers per hour. High temperature tomorrow of 16, low temperature for tomorrow night around -2 degrees. Our overnight low is 6 degrees.
And right now in downtown Toronto, a partly cloudy sky, 11 degrees. Similar conditions at Pearson Airport, and 13 degrees. Well, several concerts have been canceled due to COVID-19, including K-pop superstars BTS. But fans don't have to worry. You'll be able to now attend their concerts from home. The 7-member South Korean boy band announced Bang Bang Con, a series of shows they'll be streaming on YouTube. Their fans, who are known as the Army, can tune into the Bangtan TV YouTube channel starting on April 17th. 680 News Time.
Just waiting to hit that mute button.
We're 2 men and a truck. So, you're moving to a new home, and all that's left to do
That's
is
what I need is K-pop right
now.
now. That'll make everything better.
You think 2 men and a truck, since you know they have lots of men and lots of trucks. They'll wrap, pack, and move everything you want. With a 96% referral rating and the professionalism you can trust, the choice is simple. For a free in-home estimate, call today. We're 2 men and a truck. We're open for business. 2 men and a truck, the movers who care.
At Sleep Country, we know the importance of sleep, especially at times like these. That's why our sleep experts are now available online.
As the province reports 401 new cases of COVID-19 and 21 new deaths, the province says they're already ramping up testing as they go one step closer to testing 14,000 people daily within a month. Metro refugee shelters reporting 4 cases of COVID-19 in their facility. Home First Authority says they were made aware of the results of the Willowdale Wilson Center on Thursday, and they're still waiting to hear back on multiple other tests. And coming up after sport, the city of Vaughan is making plans for a virtual Canada Day celebration with a portion dedicated to COVID-19.
You can all celebrate with me in Vaughan. I'm gonna do. Longest field job I ever had was in Vaughn. Look at Sears, believe that. This warehouse is the size of a fucking airport. Not an airport, an airport. Like 250 fucking docks.
Make sure out to my fans. I love y'all, man. We're gonna get some free rockets.
I know there's goods out there. There's food and electronics and everything we need is out there, just waiting to be delivered. All these people panicking. I can cough and still. This is the medicine I get.
I got a lifetime fever. I don't gotta steal. Cause it's still eating. I got a lifetime fever. I don't gotta steal. Cause it's still eating. I got a lifetime fever. I don't gotta steal. Cause it's still eating.
Flowers and leaves, flowers and leaves.
Revolver flow, is hard to trace. Yo, whip it real hard. In the kitchen, whipping up that freaking till it real hard. Bitch, I hustle real hard. Bitch, you hustle real smart. Bitch, you hustle once a week. Bitch, I flipping Rick Ross. Whip it real hard. In the kitchen, whipping up that freaking till it real hard. Bitch, I hustle real hard. Bitch, you hustle real smart. Bitch, you hustle once a week. Bitch, I flipping Rick Ross every day. Grinding hard, grinding big, you grinding small. 38 revolver blows, I'm watch me fucking kill them all. I'll be down to kill a dog. Work him with my fucking blow. Once he dead, go find his bitch. Stop flirting with his fucking hoe. Working with this fucking hoe. I'll be on my fucking shit. Don't let the revolver take 6 shots, you dead ain't need a clip. I got a lifetime fever. I don't gotta steal. It's still eating. I got a lifetime fever. I don't gotta steal. It's still eating. I got a lifetime fever. I don't gotta steal. It's still eating. It's hard to trace. Quiet. Real G's don't talk much. Never lie and won't hesitate to pop one. Got hollows by the bag, try to stop one. Fuck around and catch a hot one from a shotgun. I'm a hot one. What your bitch say? Flow hard, stay sharper than a switchblade. You's a bitch made. Man, I make bitches. Triple R, I ain't fucking with no fake bitches. Real recognize real what's good. Get money and I'll bring it back to the hood. Ask me how I'm doing, probably tell you real good. But I ain't stopping till I'm fucking gripping Bill's wood. And I ain't stopping till I'm fucking bitches in my penthouse. One Lambo, one Robert, chilling at the penthouse. And a deal locked up, better free the homie bitches call me sand. Cause I got that desert eagle on me. I got a lifetime fever. I don't gotta steal. It's still eating. I got a lifetime fever. I don't gotta steal. It's still eating. I got a lifetime fever. I don't gotta steal.
49. The city of Vaughn is taking a different approach to Canada Day this year. As Martinez tells us, in light of the COVID-19 pandemic, it will be a virtual celebration.
When our nation's birthday rolls around this year, the city of Vaughan will be hosting its first ever virtual Canada Day celebration. This will allow the residents of the city to mark the event safely from the comfort of their homes. Mayor Maurizio Bevilacqua says it's the right thing to do.
We need to take all necessary precautions and preventive measures to make sure that the COVID-19 stops spreading throughout the community.
We need to make sure that nobody goes to Vaughan.
There's also going to be a portion of it dedicated, obviously, to COVID-19 and what COVID-19 has done to our community. And by that, I mean it in positive terms. The community has come together. The frontline workers have shown the very best of what citizenship is truly all about.
No word yet on the lineup, but planning for the online Canada Day event is underway. I'm Phil Martino.
Coming up next, traffic and weather together on the ones.
All the old people dropping on mass. Yeah, positive.
I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat.
I was thirsty.
We're gonna turn the music back on, motherfucker.
This is the least amount of problem we've encountered recording a song so far.
coming with the sword. I'm a
They've all got the top. All the
They
zombies
don't
are
wanna
out.
catch me, I'm a
All the
best, but I'm a
Nyneteen,
worst.
zombies.
And that's exactly why I gotta put them in the dirt. You should see us go to work. Watch me hit them where it hurts. Watch me fucking hit them first. Watch me put them in a hearse. Drinking blood to quench my thirst. Catch a charge with every
The old people that don't know what day it is on a good day.
FTP across
And
my
these weird religious zombie freaks walking up to them trying to hand them paperwork.
I'ma watch you run away. It
The
look like
government's rolling by,
immigration.
looking out tinted windows, just recording and watching, hugging up the truck.
Drugs out the vial, on file, pull more screens and vials.
I think I saw one police car today.
I'm a walking pandemic. Trying to take on me and do the jogging man with it. What's a champion scene without some sadness up in it? I know the world is ours, I'm just having a minute. Another dead man walking with a casket incentive. It's either a bucket or a habit I'm kicking. Conscience roll caller, is it casting auditions? If you notice I ain't present, it's cause the past isn't finished. Coming for the throat of anyone that is my enemy. Listen, little bitch, this is not what I pretend to be. Send an army, send your troops, send them in with camo suits. Come and catch me, make me pay. Ward boy till my dying day. Ward boy till my dying day. Ward boy being sealed away. Ward boy after I decay. I'm a fucking misfit with this fucking wrist slit. Hit you with my fist, bitch. Bring it red like Christmas. Death is on my wish list. The headphones ain't tangled and it's lost. Monk ass AirPods, if they ain't listening, it's their loss. No cap, no strings attached, fucking weird flaws. Down Jones crash, how we share flaws. Skip the empathy in my epitaph. Epithet, y'all my nemesis. Yeah, I said that with emphasis. Ain't no common ground or no common sense. Fuck your comments, that's the consequence when you on the fence. Killing will, all my head is sparrow. I can't call them off. I can't call it, dog. Shit, I'm probably wrong. Stay lifted and twisted like a fucking polygon. If you're feeling froggy, get knocked back to a polywall. So you'll see the black dove. So don't push no more. When it comes to push and shove, I'll put you through the floor. Someone come and catch some smoke. I swear you'll be the one that choke. When I'm fucking angry, bitch, I'ma wipe out all your hope. I'ma smoke your fucking dope. Cut you up like cantaloupe. Send you to the North Pole. Inside of an envelope.
Bear store, but can't go to church.
Demons always play pretend. Cut them up with just a pen. I'm something you can't comprehend. Against me you cannot defend. Pain and fear you can't prevent. I'll make sure you feel suspense. Put you under the cement. Put you in the ground.
Now downtown Toronto, a mostly cloudy sky. It's 11 degrees. Similar conditions at Pearson Airport, but 13 degrees. And coming up at the top of the hour, the latest on Ontario reporting 401 new cases of COVID-19 today and another 21 deaths from the virus as health officials work toward testing 14,000
The virus. I guess maybe it has in the title, the virus. I thought that was
680
HIV, but I don't think so, not anymore.
As a homeowner,
Without
you have built
HIV,
up equity
all
value
good
in
is
your
coming.
home. With Capital Direct, equity equals flexibility for homeowners.
I never heard of HIV too. We got SARS too.
Flexibility to renovate your home, or flexibility to pay off other bills like credit cards or property taxes.
You know it's bad when all the money lenders are advertising. Borrow some money, borrow
Capital
some
Direct
money.
today at 1-800-NEW-CAPITAL and see what's available for you. .ca.
680 News. Listen on the go with the Radio Player Canada app.
Download now on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store.
Breaking news, traffic, and weather.
No matter where you are.
With the Radio Player Canada app and 680 News.
It was a historic first for this weekend's version of Saturday Night Live. ABC's Christopher Watson has more.
It's Saturday Night Live! Oh, for the first time in its nearly 45-year history, SNL was not broadcast from NBC's Studio 8H in New York. Cast members did their thing from home, performing solo bits with help from musical guest Chris Martin and host Tom Hanks.
Knock it up. No more Saturday Night. I'm sorry, folks. Saturday Night Live died of a heroin and cocaine overdose.
But will it make you laugh? It's SNL.
Christopher Watson, ABC News.
And a Toronto donut chain is donating its tasty treats across the GTA. The Square,
donuting?
which has 2 locations in Toronto and 1 in Mississauga, is matching customer orders. If you order 6 donuts, they'll deliver the same amount that week to 3 places suggested by customers. If you order a dozen, they'll donate a matching order to a place of your choice. So far, they've already donated 200 donuts to Mount Sinai, and they hope to give one to every hospital in the city. Coming up in 60 seconds, your 680 News Business Report
I would
with
like to
Carl
buy
Armitage. 680 News Time,
donuts, please.
7:55.
That would be $6.66, please.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate online at Sciences. My appliances. Anger with the sciences. That is what my style is, and evil is my stylist.
How you smoking Percy's and slip jacks on the lighter thief. If you like the green shit, go full circle like a reef.
Circle the squares, circle the squares, they know we out here everywhere. Slow down, one way, kids at play. What do you say is another rerun,
stationary
around the way. Stay on the highway tonight, you're gonna start to fight, don't call them white, don't tough up for the night.
Basic gas even for a heart that's acidic. How am I
Oh, the
supposed
dark,
to
just
judge
remember
if
Ducky's
everyone's
charge. It says 56 minutes, it'll be the business report, but it won't be. Watch.
Is following the biggest oil production cut ever by OPEC and its allies. Just days after constant
I'm supposed to know who's in OPEC.
the group agreed to a cut of 9.7 million.
I didn't know Mexico and the U.S. were part of OPEC. I forgot. I thought it was
continue through to the end
all
of June.
Arabians and
The
Russia.
organization originally wanted to cut 10 million barrels a
Nigeria.
day. It's not far off, but it's because Mexico apparently refused to cut by 400,000 barrels, settling instead on 100,000. And analysts say traders remain.
If the price goes down, you're just going to pump out more? That's how you get money. What do you do with all this money, Mexico? What are you doing with all this money? You're not improving the
We
place.
do have oil slightly higher right now, up by 0.8% to $22.97 a barrel. Has
They
dropped by
install
about
you,
2% in electronic trade. We'll keep our eye on it. As for Western Canadian Select on Thursday, it dropped by about 39% to $4.39 a barrel. And investors are keeping a close eye on U.S. stock futures and world markets. We do have all three futures benchmarks down by at least 1.3%, so that can mean some more selling tomorrow. Dow futures falling 330 points, S&P futures down by 39,
I don't know if
and
that's
Nasdaq futures
futures
falling
or
by
options or
116
derivatives
points.
or...
Here at home, the TSX did see a
I
weekly gain
wouldn't
around
mess with convertible
8.4%.
debentures, but
It's
why?
coming off a four-day rally. On Thursday, it was higher by 1.7% to 14,166. Now, this week, investors are preparing for the first full week that the Canada Emergency Business Account is going to be available for small businesses and not-for-profit organizations, as well
I
after
got
cutting
that fucking
rates to
email
near zero in
within
March.
minutes
The
of
Bank
them
of
announcing
Canada
this shit. I
is set
swear
to
to God.
release its latest interest rate decision and monetary policy report on Wednesday.
From
Canadian dollar was
HSBC,
higher by
not the
19
government.
one-hundredths of a cent on Thursday.
Banks
closing
taking
at
out for it. We want you to have money in your account.
Now, gold and
You
electronic
can't
trade is
make
down
money
by
if you don't have money.
0.7% to 1,739. And Boeing's in focus as it has reportedly turned to firms including Evercore to help it examine various funding strategies as it considers both
When I
government
started
and
my
private
business
options
last year
amid
at
the
this
coronavirus
time, I'd be
pandemic.
eligible for all
At
this
the
shit.
Business Center, I'm Carl Garnash.
Hi, I'm Anthony Longo. Our family has been proud to serve Ontarians for over 60 years. And like your family, we're doing our best to stay positive during
No doubt, different ways to struggle. No strangers in the way, get a failure to raise your hustle. Plus what? About $20 for a day's work. Out of luck, I turn a white tee into a gray shirt. Ain't no punk on me, maintain Hollywood respect. For one thing, I get the look legit. Got the good connect, no strangers in the snipe game. Cheeks taste like cigarettes. From the butts on the ground that I found, used to filter in no sleep devil. Yeah, cracker, that's only dead time. Personified a subway train. I'm the red line from Hollywood to Hershey. Goods up, heads down, holding them a cursing. Call it a conversion if I only knew a camera crew if I don't meet in person. No A&E, you wanna see, pay the fee. Get a jar, kids say to me, so angrily, I got one, you idiot. I work double shifts, y'all don't see the pain. And that's where the trouble is, imagining that generation or X stab in the back. Dirty needles, good kids, hurting people. Mom didn't raise me like this. Wipe the hate from my lips, blood and H in the mix, drip all the way to my wrist. Yeah, I know what an atheist is. I live forever as a blood stain, my name will exist in this bathroom stall. How I last you all, push the plunger, catch tags and blast the wall. Ain't no telling where I can go from here. Up on clear, I see through the smoke and mirrors. I live harder on purpose to provoke my peers. My life is overrated, man. I've been a joke for years. It's overrated, man. I've been a joke for years. And I don't need to tell y'all the times is hard. Hey, you don't need to tell me that I've been scarred. I'm not a fraud. Let me believe that I'm in charge. I got the keys and I'm a drop.
Province is ramping up efforts efforts to defeat COVID-19 with a significant increase in testing and the development of a new health data platform.
The world is reeling with the COVID-19 pandemic, but Easter is far from canceled. Leaders and officials bring festivities online and stress the upkeep of physical distancing.
COVID-19 cases are reportedly at an all-time high among provincial healthcare workers.
Notice it's the Fed's purview to be all over this health information, but it's the province's responsibility to do something about it.
Freezing cold temperatures.
No Rogers Cup in Montreal. Real Sociedad allowing players to begin training. A famous race car driver passes away in England. Sports at 15.
U.S. stock futures are moving lower while
What they said about it makes me think of my life. The best driver to never win a race.
Working to keep your time at home magical. Business at 26.
News time, 8:01. It's time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Carly Donahue.
This report is brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Westbound 401, all lanes are still closed.
I'm going to call that Star 680 number to ask you. Yesterday, the beat didn't beat.
So if you need to use an alternate route, Dairy, Steels, or the 407 are viable options right now. They're all moving up to speed. The Mississauga road ramps to the West 401 are also closed off at this time, and they've taken out the left lane at Winston Churchill on the East 401 as well. So that is all part of this cleanup. Other than that, on your major routes, nothing really going on. On our city streets, though, we've just got a couple things. Westbound Highway 7 at Bayview is closed for collision, so if you're on Bayview, you might have to be forced onto the eastbound 407. And then north and southbound Bathurst from King Street to Fort York, all lanes are currently closed for police investigation. St. Louis Bar and Grill thanks you for supporting local businesses, including your local St. Louis restaurant through takeout and delivery. Their deepest gratitude goes to the first responders who are keeping us all safe. Your next report's at 8:11 with your forecast. Here's Jason Freezer.
So as the evening progresses, we'll end up seeing more cloud cover across the GTA. Can't rule out the possibility of another rain shower developing before the midnight hour, though I think our greatest risk at seeing some precipitation will likely happen after the midnight hour, and we'll see the temperature dip down to the single digits. Our overnight low tonight is 6 degrees.
Right now downtown, it's 11 degrees and partly cloudy. Also partly cloudy at Pearson and 13 degrees. 680 news time, 8:03.
As Ontario reports 401 new cases of COVID-19 and 21 deaths today, the province is working to increase the number of daily testing to 14,000 within just a month.
680's Michelle Mackey joins us with why this weekend marks a significant step closer toward that goal, as well as details about a new platform in development by the province.
Ontario's Ministry of Health is reporting more than 6,800 tests over the past 24 hours, nearly double the amount completed the day prior. Health policy expert Dr. Alfred Ferris-Khaled says testing is critical for four main reasons.
Find cases faster, intervene earlier, reduce the spread of the virus, and to essentially save the lives that we need to in the province.
Along with ramping up testing, the province is developing a new health data platform that will allow researchers to better detect, plan, and respond to the outbreak. The platform, titled the Pandemic Threat Response, or PANTHER for short, will hold secure health information, such as discharge summaries of hospital stays and medical drug claims submitted to the Ontario Drug Benefit, while ensuring the privacy of all patients. The Ontario government plans to launch the platform on June 1st. I'm Michelle Mackey.
You gotta be dead. I don't see
680 News Time, 8:04. It's a different kind of Easter Sunday this year, with church service streaming online and families unable to gather for dinner. 680's Meg Black joins us with more on how people are adapting to the new normal.
But if little Bobby sneezes within 2 meters of grandma,
is going
the whole
online,
fucking
with
world's
gatherings banned and public health officials urging everyone to stay home. Families, faith communities, and congregations around the world are finding a way to mark Easter, but
No,
at a
I'm
distance.
celebrating Wester.
While the outbreak made traditional church services impossible, Pope Francis held Easter Sunday Mass online.
Only the people that were already in the circle, no new people, no new people.
Pope Francis's virtual mass was repeated throughout the world. In South Korea, where one outbreak was tied to a church sect, services were largely held online nationwide. Meantime, in the UK, the Queen said Easter will be different, but we need it now more than ever.
But by keeping apart, we keep others safe. But Easter isn't cancelled.
Here at home, Prime Minister Justin
You
Trudeau
don't look like the lady on the coins when I was growing up.
from seeing extended family to flatten the curve.
It would be easy to celebrate Easter without being surrounded by our extended family or larger group of loved ones. But we have to do it.
I'm Meg Black.
We have to do it. Mr.
COVID-19
Drama
cases
teacher.
among the
Don't forget that he's
healthcare
a drama
workers
teacher.
is at an all-time high, with an infection rate 4 times that of the general population. Tina Yazdani from City
Yeah, I
News
think they're the
spoke with
fucking
Michael
vector,
Hurley
right?
from the Ontario Council of Hospital Unions on the worrying trend.
You have to say that if the infection rate is 4 times normal, there's got to be a profound failure in terms of the protection that these workers have at their disposal.
So far, at least 777 healthcare workers have tested positive for COVID-19 in Ontario. That's roughly 12% of all cases in the province. The Premier has been vocal in expressing his disappointment in the continued lack of PPE and has vowed that never again will Ontarians have to rely on other countries for these critical supplies. And his government issued a call to action on March 21st asking businesses to help make equipment. In the 3 weeks since, they've received 14,000 submissions that have translated to 5.1 million
That's the real reason you don't want COVID in the jails, is because who's going to make stuff for you for free?
And 50,000 units of clip-on hand sanitizer for OPP officers. Still, they say more are
That's
needed.
real
For City
helpful.
News, I'm Tina Yazdani.
These idiots put it on the gloves.
A Markham Home for Adults with
Don't wash
Disabilities
their
has
hands
been
all
working
fucking
to
day.
ensure
Wear the
residents
same
receive
gloves
full
every day.
care and support
Put the hand
as it grapples
sanitizer
with a
on the
major
gloves on the
staffing
outside.
shortage.
After they
Participation
search
House saw
you.
most of its
They
staff
go through all your
off the
shit,
job
and they do
after
that
they
to
were
protect
informed about
themselves.
an outbreak of COVID-19 on Thursday. Home's executive director Shelley Brillinger confirms with 680 that they are actively working to ensure the center has staffing coverage for specialized positions, including nurses, personal support workers, and food services. As of Friday, 10 residents and 2 staff members have tested positive. The facility is home to 42 adults with disabilities.
Meantime, a refugee shelter based in Toronto is reporting 4 cases of COVID-19 at their facility. Home First Society was made aware of Willowdale Welcome Center on Thursday. The organization is still waiting to hear back on multiple other tests. The facility currently houses more than 200 people. Organizers say that the virus has also popped up in many similar facilities across the city. Premier Doug Ford says workers and residents at shelters and care homes will be prioritized for testing.
This is 680 News at 8:07. Easter Sunday also marks 40 years since Terry Fox began the Marathon of Hope in St. John's, Newfoundland. 680's Lucas Castelletto has more on Terry's legacy and why it's important now more than ever.
Legacy, come on, let us go.
I've seen little kids in so much pain. Somewhere, the hurting must stop.
Today, many Canadians consider Fox a hero. Since Terry's death, more than $750 million has been raised for cancer research through the annual Terry Fox Run. Terry's brother, Daryl, says before the pandemic broke out, there was a push on social media and in his hometown for Terry Fox to appear on the next Canadian $5 bill. Daryl says his brother's message and acts resonate with him on the anniversary.
I want to set an example.
That's great. When I call my friends, I'll be like, hey, is Terry there? And he's going to be yes or no.
Sometimes it feels endless.
I'm Lucas Castelletto.
With physical distancing in full effect, a storm is making its way to the GTA this weekend. 680's Zahir Shimi joins us on the Weather Watch with the details.
It's shaping up to be the perfect day to stay in quarantine. Why? We have
Stay in
a
your
lot
house.
of rain on the way, so get cozy. We are expecting 30 to 40 millimeters of rainfall across the region. This is all associated with a massive low-pressure system that is expected to continue to affect Ontario over the next 48 hours.
They're not telling us the running total.
Our meteorologist Jason Fraser says we might hit a high of 16 degrees tomorrow, but after that, it's poised to get a lot colder than the seasonal average.
We're going to actually go below where we should be right around this time of year. Our average low temperature is about 0 degrees, but I think in some parts of the GTA will actually hit anywhere between a minus 2 and about minus 6.
Jason adds that it might be slippery, so if you have to go outside, make sure to watch out for that. I'm Zahir Shimi.
Last time it was like this.
680 News, gas price update, followed by traffic and weather together on the ones.
680 News Time, 8:09.
This
is 680 News. In times like these, shouldn't your money work even harder for you? We think so. That's why at Duca Credit Union, you get no-fee checking accounts. You also get high interest on deposits and investments and low mortgage rates. Plus, you get to share in the profits. That's the Duca difference. And now we're offering 2.5% interest on your savings until March 31st, 2021. Find out how at earnmore.duca.com. Do more, be more, achieve more.
Hollywood, pull my back, my feet will shine these scars. I'm one hit, one thing. 6, one more time, I toss, spiking my wrist. Crucify me, climb the God. Hey yo, good times, bad times. Hollywood sign, fat line. Sipping to the dawn to your flat line. I stick a dick with the chrome with a black nine. Skid roll, no place to call a home. If you lack spine, if you can win, yeah, you can roll. Yeah, that's fine. See these dudes forgot their PD rules. I read graffiti like moves while I PT crew. Lick the fuse, hit the pipe really like hitting snooze. I lick the fuse, hit the pipe really like hitting snooze. I never wanna wake up with that true insomniac. In retrospect, I guess it sounds better when I'm on the track. Need a storm at, I'm in drug court. I'm in that white room, walls are black. I do all of that, call me back. Let me know though, this the no-dos. Running from imaginary people, no logos. Rip the photos, hot boys, your sister photos. Mr. Monkey, water, Mr. Coco. Sweat profusely, dish the logo. The gray and sunny shit. $60 here in the soul. Too quick, that's the money quick. Said come with this, yo. When's this guy leaving? I bounced from the telly quick. Now I'm dry heaving. Still got the cash though. Delivers my game. Black gold, deliver my pain. My aim, don't remember my name. Yeah, the city is straight. Cast for all of the stones. Cinders remain carved in all of the thrones. No judgment, can't trust my. So I catch a bus ride. 22 stolen swan time. But too much pride standing there on Julian. Family
3 months ago, they were all about stopping the last year, a year ago. They're all about stopping people from riding the bus without paying. Now they're like, just get on the bus and go, just go.
Yeah, cause my life's up, and I don't need to tell y'all the times it's hard, and you don't need to tell me that I've been scarred. I'm not a fraud, let me believe that I'm in charge. I got the keys and I'ma drive this car, pain behind these bars, need a minute, put my mind on pause. Hollywood, pull my back, my feet will shine these stores. One hit, one fix, one more time, I toss, spiking the wrist. Crucify me, climb the car, and I don't need to tell y'all the times it's hard, and you don't need to tell me that I've been scarred. I'm not a fraud, let me believe that I'm in charge. I got the keys and I'ma drive this car. Pain behind these bars. Need a minute, put my mind on pause. Hollywood, pull my back, my feet will shine these stars. One hit, one fix, one more time, I toss back in my wrist. Crucify me, climb the car, yeah. Cadillac Ron, Bikini bitch, yeah.
Low-pressure system gets closer to Ontario. I think our greatest chance at seeing some precipitation will likely end up being after midnight. Can't even rule out the possibility of a thunderstorm developing at some point overnight, as well as tomorrow morning. And tomorrow afternoon, we could get a quick peek of some sunshine, but then by the afternoon time, we are expecting to see another round of some showers. And you'll notice that the high temperature will be about 16 degrees, but tomorrow night it's going to be chilly. We're going down to a low temperature of about -2. And we'll be surprised to see some rain showers become some snow showers. Our overnight low tonight is 6 degrees.
Right now downtown, 11 degrees and partly cloudy. Similar conditions at Pearson Airport and 13 degrees.
Still to come on 680 News, the standoff between New York's mayor and governor when it comes to handling schooling during the COVID-19 pandemic.
680 News Time, 8:13.
Northwood Mortgage people work harder to find solutions just for you. One example, Northwood regularly helps families get into new homes after the bank has turned them down.
Oh, he doesn't have the authority to shut it down. You can just tell him to shut it down. No, you're not going to work today. What the fucking things to argue about? You might still open them up again. Really.
Fresh out the drink and I'm back, don't sell them. West side of been rolling with the click of no felons. No telling what I do to get my fucking cash on, mash on, black market lows. Get your ass on, left on my feet. No feds, no chases, no lead, no cases, no bled, no faces, those dead, no traces. You don't wanna try me, no patience, no patience. Headed to the eye, see you ready to die. Keep mask, gonna identify the holes in the hide, but I find a way to end the life. I don't play so winning, not breaks the skin. You can pray your fucking day, but it ain't no way you'll make it in. Take away your faith and friends, family, and what's left with unknown assailants. Lacing the slut steps, I ain't a suspect. I ain't on the list, I'm a no-face killer. They don't know I exist. I got my 9 millimeter situation, get some gun, fill my gap back, more of that, once they get your gun, cause I run, want to tackle with my motherfucking no face mask on, black market low, get your ass on. My 9 millimeter situation. situation getting rough. Till my gap back, all the decks once they get stuck. Come run, want to tackle with my motherfucking no face mask on. Rack market low, get your ass on. Leaving sluts, snuffed and mangled, fucked and strangled, bringing pain from every angle, leaving veins cut and tangled, leave a snitch, hold my ankles in the back of my side of the house, don't even got a bounce, cause I'm clear up all the caps for now, dead on the scene is clean, the scene's red, muzzle tattoo weapons, the police ain't even seen yet, now who's next to die, the next to be rested by, the killer leave no witness, so nobody can testify, never arrested by no 5-0, into my rivals, the spending game is venom spray, I get no way to survival. I know you ain't doing a try though. Can't reason with the cycles. If I pose in my pose, if I pose when the knife falls, get my dough when I roll with gas, cause you carry bitch. Every clip is making Cooper's mortuary bridge. Born to scary tricks, born to give me toe tags, born to make those backroad and blow back over the phone. And I'm never made a situation getting drunk. Till my gap back, all the decks once they get stuck. Cause I run, want to tackle with my motherfucking no face mask on. Rack market low. Get your ass out, I'm never made a situation getting drunk. Till my gap back, all the decks once they get stuck. Cause I run, want to tackle with my motherfucking no face mask on. Rack market low, get your ass out, I'm never made a situation getting drunk. Till my gap back, all the decks once they get stuck. Cause I run, want to tackle with my motherfucking no face mask on. Rack market low, get your ass out, I'm never made a situation getting drunk. Till my gap back, all the decks once they get stuck. Cause I run, want to tackle with my motherfucking no face mask on. Rack market low, get your ass on. I got my 9, never made a situation getting drunk. Till my gap back, all the decks once they get stuck. Cause I run, want to tackle with my motherfucking no face mask on. Rack market low, get your ass on.
No, I'm not crazy. A virus really broke out and fucking took over the whole world because some idiot ate a bat and didn't cook it. But I want my bat meat rare. Rare. Tell me you're gonna get, the guy cooked it rare, but you didn't say, he's like, you tell me you're gonna get sick.
What the fuck it is,
Grinding, that's the motto, we live by for timing. Playing games, we got no time, grind. Till our stacks so high, right? For all the niggas who are close by, if you ain't know to please stay on the Lord's side. Big gun, eagle eye, that'll get your shorts right, grind. That's the motto we live by, right? Tell all of your foes
I tell these niggas act sick like my niggas won't air you or talk till you see me creeping in your rear view. So I dare you, if it's me you wanna harm G, shots make your heart stop, I'm out in a heartbeat. Always on my feet cause niggas snake for the right price. So in these dark streets I keep it close like a nightlight. When I let it go they take it off like a race. Niggas always rap, why you think this mask on my face? Why you think I'm on this block making cash different ways? Nipping to these heads of shots, pushing back your waves. Your mom catching graves when my niggas sit and laugh. But it's a straight face when I stick 'em for the stash. Yo, cause John knows I got some stacks at my base. But I'm still robbing niggas like I'm flat on my face. Still shooting shots, no shoes, get 'em laced. Do the same dirty, get away with no trace.
Grinding, that's the motto we live by for timing. Playing games, we got no time to grind. Till our stacks so high, right? For all the niggas who are close by, if you ain't know to please stay on the Lord's side. Big gun, eagle eye, that'll get your shorts right, grind. That's the motto we live by, right? Tell all of your foes sides. Yo, I'll ride out for the close ones. Crunch time, do time for the close ones. When it comes down in the long run, you niggas broke, I'm the man with the long gun.
You're fucking with the wrong one. If my niggas broke, I'ma break bread. I'ma get you smoked out like a dope head. Nigga OD from this chrome lead. You owe me, pay me, or I flip things. Anything I find is mine, then I'm a jack. Certain niggas shouldn't chip, better off with a check. Certain niggas shouldn't grip, freeze when they see that bitch. Freeze when they see goonies. But it's nothing like the movie. Bunch of young youths with nothing but a spoon. Nothing. But we still on our fucking. And the streets done cuff me. I'm counting money, got me feeling so lucky. Still feeling cursed cause I sleep with a duppy. You niggas are sweet and me I'm on my munchies. I mean on my crunchies. So come try slap me. I love guns and my gun loves me. Strap on my side like a wife and a huggy. Day shift, night shift, no kid cuddly. Rubber band money, stack by the 50s. Come try jack me, I brought the strap with me. Brought it with me, nigga. I brought the strap with me. Brought it with me.
Yeah, you already know who it is. It's your boy, Playboy Bandito. Rock with my man Tycho here in Vintage Vault, Maxim FM Hip Hop Radio.
What's up, bro? So you said I could rap it all myself, son? Well, how about you suck on this one, you little bitch? Yeah, that's me. You're sick, you're disgusting, you're a dick, fucking prick, fucking user, fucking loser, you will never amount to shit. You're sick, you're disgusting, you're a dick, fucking prick, fucking user, fucking loser, you will never amount to shit. Yeah, what is wrong with you? What the hell is wrong with you? Think you flex on me?
Everything will stay cool.
Hey. Yeah. The heartfelt shit. Yeah. The heartfelt shit. Check it. These days I'm on empty, so don't fucking tempt, yo. I'ma make it there eventually. It's these cruel intentions, not to mention got me clenching. My chest hurt from the stress, and these days I'm venting. Poetry healing these wounds that I once contained. Serenity felt fed off these raps that I bring. These words help me escape. I say fuck a therapist. I hate mankind, I'm against all like a terrorist. In the arms of security, stolen away. Death stealing loved ones, let my soul astray. Reflect my past, so you see this life's been good. Chose correctively, even when pressured by the hood. I put my hands on steel, coke, the rock, and the slates before the wake, cause I didn't need my life to be in decay. Some say it's the choices you make, and then you seal your fate. Either you're dead, one in the head, or in jail you pace. Reflection and regret in your course of fucking action. Fed off sin, ego, and your love and your passion. Infractions you said melted your soul down to nothing less. A shell of life patiently wait for the time of death. I made choices that have been good, ones that have been bad. You see how I'm living, so you know that I'm glad. I'm proud to say I'm steady and my life is set. I live like there's no tomorrow and never hold regrets, so don't hold your breath. Yeah, I never hold regrets, so don't hold your breath. Yeah. These days I'm on empty, so don't fucking tempt me. I'ma make it there eventually. These days I'm on empty, so don't fucking tempt me. I'ma make it there eventually. These days I'm on empty.
Families are celebrating this unique Easter Sunday.
What's $200?
News Time 823.
I want to hear about $200.
Big prize after another in the Princess Margaret Hall
I'll miss out on
Lottery.
some again. I just know it.
$6.8 million
Somebody's getting $200.
prize, a contemporary $1.6 million Upper Beaches grand prize,
Well, how
a
do we have to
stunning
break down to the
country home,
commercial?
and a beautiful Kawartha lakefront cottage. Homes, cottages,
Don't
condos,
fucking tempt me.
condos.
I'ma make it there eventually. These days I'm on empty, so don't fucking tempt me. I'ma make it there eventually.
Sometimes I wonder if we're on the right path. Because if time is money,
Then
we're
we're
backwards in
backwards and
math. But there's something
mad.
about my staff I can't put my finger on. Even when they're gone, the feeling lingers on. Before I know it, right to the break of dawn. We got this belief that won't let us stop. Everywhere we go, we're always getting props. Anyone that's heard us know we're going to the top. But we're not there yet. It's not a sure bet. No matter how this ends, I got no regrets. The first time I heard myself was on the net. People can't wait to see me on their TV sets. I got dreams of jets, defeating my family. Could this be preposterous? Thoughts about Grammys? What if it's not my fate, even though I flow uncanny? Am I supposed to force my way in? All guns blazing? Should I be selling drugs at the days in? Instead of writing verses at home on my days in? Now I'm in my living room pacing, joints and pacing. More than anything, I want this for my wife. More than anything, I want this for my family's life. To roll up a dice, I mean it's all the chance to
So I stay my battle stance when to take over the lands. If you feel what I'm saying, please wave your hands. These days I'm on empty, so don't fucking tempt me. I'ma make it there eventually. These days I'm on empty, so don't fucking tempt me. I'ma make it there eventually. These days I'm on empty, so don't fucking tempt me. I'ma make it there eventually. These days I'm on empty, so don't fucking tempt me. I'ma make it there eventually. I like the way the microphone looks upon this stand. I like the way the microphone feels inside my hand. It feels like I've finally been let out of my cage. To this microphone I begin to let out my rage. People coming up to me, they're trying to say you can't be an MC, so move out the way. But I step up cause I always stand my ground. I would take a fucking bullet for this life I have found. Yeah, the ecstasy I get when I'm about to spit is like what you get from the shaman in the derelict. I don't treat my rhymes like a hoe treats a drip. Another dollar from another fucking dick. I've opened up my mind and I learned to use my heart. This world was like a grinder, said he'd tear me apart. But I'm like T-1000 molding back into one. Using this microphone like I'd use a gun. Shot so loud, heard from Newfoundland to BC. Flooding your mind with the records from Gangrene. Taking over this underground scene. Keep screaming out TKREP. I know that I can make it if I only believe. Because living my life, it's like living a dream. I wake up tomorrow and things aren't what they seem. But I know that I can make it. I know that I'll succeed.
Learn more at toronto.ca/COVID-19.
Stay home.
680 News Time 826. Now time for the 680 Business Report. Here's Carl Garnish.
While investors are keeping their attention on U.S. stock futures and oil, they're trying to get an idea of what we could be in for this week. And because we got a historic move today, OPEC and its allies agreed to a 9.7 million barrel a day oil production cut to address the demand loss caused by the coronavirus pandemic. And in electronic trade, we have oil up by 3.7%, currently to 23.61.
I want to know who's making money off this Panther.
More than 19%, so a bit of optimism here. And while this does ease investor concern about the price war between Saudi Arabia and Russia, and we'll say a real make or break moment for the markets this week in the fight. And on what economic policymakers decide. We have the International Monetary Fund and World Bank set to hold virtual meetings, and Bloomberg is reporting that the IMF is poised to slash its outlook on the world economy. Now, on Wednesday, the Bank of Canada is set to release its latest interest rate decision and monetary policy report, and that comes after recently cut rates to zero in March. Taking a look at the futures benchmarks, we have all three lower by at least 1.2%. Dow futures falling 295 points. S&P futures down by 37, with the NASDAQ futures from 110 points. Now, all three U.S. benchmarks did see a weekly gain of at least 10%, and the S&P, in fact, had its best week since 1974. Here at home, the TSX is coming off a 4-day rally and a weekly gain around. On Thursday, it was up by 1.7%. That's a gain of 240 points to 14,166. Checking on gold and electronic trade, it's down by 0.5% to 1,743. And it's coming off a weekly gain of roughly 7%. Now, as for the Canadian dollar, on Thursday, it was up by 19/100ths of a cent, closing at 71.57 cents US. Now, even while Walt Disney does keep its theme parks around the world closed indefinitely amid the coronavirus pandemic, trying to keep everyone safe, the company is reminding those who are actually planning to visit that they still can virtually. On Disney's Magic Moments websites, you can try out the popular rides, check out those parks, and Disney's also encouraging you to try your hand at cooking some of the items that they actually sell at their parks.
All long weekend, TSC has amazing offers like the Today Show Stopper from It Cosmetics, featuring It's Your New Blow Away 4-piece collection. You get the Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer, Bye Bye Pores Blush, Heavenly Luxe Brush, and the all-new Dry Bar Lash Blowout Mascara for lavish.
I'm on empty, so don't fucking tempt me. I'ma make it there eventually. These days I'm on empty, so don't fucking tempt me. I'ma make it there eventually. These days I'm on empty, so don't fucking tempt me. I'ma make it there eventually. These days I'm on empty, so don't fucking tempt me. I'ma make it there eventually.
How the fuck? I'm gonna try this again. I don't care about this. Can we make it go away? Yeah. everything's working again, except there's no music.
Go shout to whoever made this beat. YG, you did your thing, man. But no disrespect, I ain't no nigga. I'ma ride for my motherfucking native. Most likely I'm a
This guy don't like being called native.
Province is now developing a new health data platform.
Yeah, I'm born here. That's not what I'm talking about,
detect,
stupid.
plan, and respond to the outbreak.
Amid the COVID-19 pandemic, Easter isn't canceled, but it is going online. Leaders and officials get creative and stream services to those
Easter, we're
homebound.
celebrating
Annoyed
Wednesday.
by people breaking quarantine? Well, don't worry. We have some nasty weather on the way that should make staying at home a little easier. Your full forecast coming up.
Details on a new interactive map that shows how long you might have to wait at grocery stores in the city.
The Rogers Cup
What if
in
you just
Montreal
fucking buy what you need and go home?
their gear, a famous
It wouldn't be
driver
a damn
passing
lot.
away
It's the same
in
amount.
England.
You wait the exact same amount of time, but there's no line up at the cash register anymore. There is no line at the cash
on the
register
way as
anymore.
U.S. stock futures sink into the red, while oil continues to move higher after a historic output cut by OPEC and its allies. Business at 56.
All you're doing is getting the waiting out of the way first.
31 time for traffic
The lines
and
move
weather together on the
fast.
ones. Here's Carlin Donahue.
This report's brought to you by Hire the
Canada, people
Gardener.
line up
Right
for
now,
concert tickets
that
and
situation on the West 401 is getting a
drinks.
little bit better. So Mississauga Road to Winston Churchill, 2 right lanes are taken out due to a vehicle fire cleanup. Originally, all the lanes were closed, and we have the Mississauga Road ramps to the West 401 closed as well. But now those ramps are reopened. You can now get onto the 401 West from Mississauga Road, and there's only 2 right lanes on the highway taken out. So it's getting a little bit better. There weren't really delays to begin with, but it's just easier having all lanes open now. Eastbound 401 from Winston Churchill, you're going to find a left lane closed for a vehicle fire
You need
cleanup,
still
and
more
that is the
airtime.
same
What?
situation on the westbound side there. And that's
Nothing.
it for your
Just
major
everything
routes
twice,
on our
damn
city
it.
streets. North and southbound Bathurst from King Street to Fort York, all lanes closed for police investigation. Yes, you can still hire the gardener to keep your yard green, and no, you don't have to go near them. Look at all the things the gardener can do for your yard at hirethegardener.com. That's hirethegardener.com. Your next report's at 8:41 with the forecast, Jason Fraser.
Well, the rain pattern is going to pick up here across the GTA, and later on tonight, we are going to see increasing amounts of clouds. The greatest chance at us seeing some precipitation is likely going to happen
It's going to
overnight.
rain, and we're
Could
also
end
going
up
to see
seeing
more
a
clouds.
thunderstorm
Thank you,
develop. Our
buddy.
overnight low tonight is 6 degrees.
Right now in downtown
They
Toronto,
never fail
overcast
to
11
surprise
degrees
me
and
in
temperatures
the
near
main
4 to
street.
few clouds and 13. 680 News Time,
It's going to rain.
8:33.
We're going to see more clouds.
Ontario introducing a new resource to help fight the spread of COVID-19 by sharing the latest data of the virus online.
Health officials are also ramping up test numbers following heavy criticism around low test rates in the province. 680's Michelle Mackey has the latest. Ontario's Ministry of Health has conducted more than 6,800 tests over the past 24 hours, nearly double the amount completed the day before. This follows the province's call to double the number of tests
These
processed
motherfuckers
each
can
day
move
to
when you light a
8,000
fire
by
under them.
April 15th
Holy
and
shit.
14,000 by the end of the month. Health policy expert Dr. Ahmed Faraz Khalid says April is a critical month to ramp up testing.
The month of April is when we will get to see our biggest peak. So those measures.
Oh, you got all the
increasing
humidity
testing,
and temperature changes
in
and
addition
everything.
to our 100 assessment centers.
There's so many people sick with so many things.
Several priority groups. It's really going to be very essential for us to get ahead of this pandemic.
The province is
You're not
also
getting ahead of it,
developing a
bro.
new
It's too
platform
late.
to help
It
defeat
got ahead of
COVID-19.
you.
The Pandemic Threat Response, Panther for short, will hold secure health data, allowing researchers to better support health system planning and
It's got to be
responsiveness.
P-A-N-T-H-R-E. It's got to be R-E.
In light of COVID-19, many students have lost their jobs and are struggling to make rent. But despite calls from the government to work with their tenants, one student says their landlord is failing to provide relief. Erica Natividad has more.
Kaneka Lawton is a freelance editor and recent graduate of the University of Toronto.
Oh, you already graduated?
$1,700 a month in rent at Campus One in downtown Toronto. They are not terminating leases or offering reimbursements for meal plans, despite the fact that many of the rooms in this building sit empty.
Most of my friends are still students and they're unable to get some
all the
form of
homeless
government
people in there.
relief. And if we do end up going back home, we're basically paying $1,700, $200, $2,000 for an empty room.
Canadian Campus Communities has stated that it is not offering lease terminations because it is contractually obligated to provide housing for residents. But for the month of April, the management has offered a rent reduction of $150.
It seems like a slap in the face.
In a statement to City News, a spokesperson for the residents said in part, while we anticipate that lease obligations will be met, we appreciate the challenges of the current situation and are willing to discuss individual options for residents facing COVID-19 related difficulties. Erica Trinidad, City News. This is 680 News at 8:35. The Toronto Refugee Shelter is reporting 4 cases of COVID-19. The organization that manages the facility also says multiple other cases of the virus have appeared at other shelters in the city. In a release obtained by 680 News, Homes First Society says it was notified about the cases at Willowdale Welcome Center on Thursday. The facility currently houses more than 200 people and are awaiting additional test results. Ontario Premier Doug Ford has said workers and residents at shelters and care homes will be prioritized for testing as the province plans to increase their rate.
Meantime, a Markham home for adults with disabilities says its residents and workers will receive full care and support as it deals with a major staffing shortage amid the outbreak at the facility. Participation House provides care for 42 residents with developmental and physical disabilities and is down to about 10 staff members from its usual 35. The home's executive director tells 680 News she understands people's fear and is growing increasingly concerned about the well-being of her staff.
Those guys, there's only 10 staff members. They probably won't
says what happened in Markham is heartbreaking, but we can't abandon the most vulnerable.
Yeah, what the fuck is wrong with you?
This is All News Radio 680 News.
Fuck them, leave them to their own.
An interactive map that shows how long you might wait at a Toronto grocery store is here to rescue us all from hour-plus wait lines and physically distancing times. The map was created by GitHub and based on the geolocation of the device will show various points of interest such as supermarkets, pharmacies, clinics with an estimated waiting time as well. The data gathered wait time on a weekly basis and shows the time spent inside a place and the estimated waiting time to be able to complete the purchase.
And as the COVID-19 blitz continues this weekend across the GTA,
the benefit is the store's not crowded full of people. You get what you want
and leave. The weather is going to make things a lot easier for everyone to stay in quarantine. A public low pressure system will bring strong winds, heavy rain, and snow to parts of the province with rain showers on this Easter Sunday. 680's meteorologist Jason Fraser says parts of the GTA could see 15 to 30 millimeters of rain between today and Monday.
We could end up seeing some thunderstorms in the overnight hours into tomorrow morning. Once we end up reaching our high temperature tomorrow of about 16 degrees, behind the system is some very cold air.
Now, a special weather statement has been issued by Environment Canada. Stay tuned for updates every 10 minutes on the ones. I'm Zahara.
One's issued for everywhere around us except us. Yeah,
okay. The weather's not going to hit us. Easter Sunday is being celebrated a little differently this year with calls and FaceTime.
It might rain on one side of your building today. What?
680's Mike Black has
There'll be snow
While
flying
the world is
sideways
reeling with the COVID-19 pandemic, Easter is not canceled. Leaders and officials are bringing festivities online, but calling for an upkeep of physical distancing. In the UK, the Queen called for solidarity and unity, stressing the need to refrain from gatherings.
We know that coronavirus will not overcome us.
How do you know? Oh, you? Yeah, okay, us. You. Guys, you mean you personally.
Are greater.
And with Italy under lockdown, Pope Francis brought Easter Mass online, forgoing tradition of it being held in St. Peter's Square. And the Church of England shuttered its churches, prompting the Anglican Archbishop Justin Welby to live stream Easter Sunday service from his kitchen in London in full robes behind a makeshift altar on his dining room table.
He doesn't normally have an altar at his house.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Premier Doug Ford are encouraging families to take Easter online.
Though we can't celebrate in groups with our extended families, it's important to stay connected virtually.
And Ford reassured kids as an essential worker, the Easter Bunny is still on the clock and will be delivering candy as scheduled. I'm Meg Black. Still to come on 680 News, traffic and weather together on the ones, but first we'll check where the price of gas is heading at midnight. 680 News time, 8:39.
TC Energy knows that homeowners look forward to spring for tackling home improvements. It's also time for construction and excavation.
Responsible for like the most pipeline explosions.
Or planting a tree. Visit OntarioOneCall.ca. Ontario One Call is a free service.
Ontario One Call, because we want to make it dead simple for these dummies. Don't dig holes. Oh, it just froze. Some froze. Why is it frozen?
Ride with my finger on the trigger. I've been grinding outside all day with my natives, and I ain't going in unless I fit my native. Go out to whoever made this beat. YG did your thing, man. But no disrespect. nigga.
I don't wanna be called yo
I'm I'ma die with my finger on the trigger. I've been grinding outside all day with my natives, and I ain't going in unless I'm with my native, 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 my motherfucking natives, my native, my native, my native, my native, my native, my native, my motherfucking natives. Yeah, I'ma ride, I'ma die, and I'ma do it for my natives. So hooping and we're hooping, and I do it for my natives, for my natives. I put on for my natives, I show out for my natives, for my natives. I do this for my natives, I do this for my people, I do this for my tribe, I do this for myself. I gotta stay alive. My natives know what's up, cause my natives throw it down. Got my natives all around, from my town to your town. It ain't no problem, we do the damn thing. Posted with my BHAB, 59, 50 fitted, all red, everything, and you heard me right. I be swooping and we're hooping all damn night. I do this for my natives, I do this for my natives. We keep on hating, but I'm just demonstrating. I'm just demonstrating the ways I was shown. I was born and bred for the rest, that's why I call it home. You can leave me alone if you don't want problems. Me and my natives, yeah, we always gotta solve some. Cool that beef so we can eat and get about the day. I'ma ride, I'ma die, I'ma do it for my natives. I'ma ride for my motherfucking natives. I'ma die with my finger on the trigger. I've been grinding outside all day with my natives, and I ain't going in unless I'm with my native, 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 my motherfucking native, my 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 motherfucking native.
Riding for my natives for the duration of my life. Reservation is the place I wanna find, so you better recognize I'm not stopping till I cop until my day of expiration and they hit my limit. It's one of the expectations that I'm gonna live by. Savage, I'm a death is always represent my kind. I'm over explanation, you already know why.
They're not talking much about it, but they're hoping that people get naturally immune if they beat this shit.
I'ma die with my finger on the trigger. I've been grinding
They said there's
outside
91
all day with
Koreans
my
that just
natives.
tested
I
positive
ain't going
after
in
beating
unless
this
I'm with my native, 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 my motherfucking native, my 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 motherfucking native. Yeah.
Fuck. It took me a lot longer to twist up than I thought.
Shout out to whoever made this beat. YG, you did your thing, man. But, no disrespect. I ain't no nigga. I'ma ride for my motherfucking natives. Likely I'ma die with my finger on the trigger. I've been grinding outside all day with my natives, and I ain't going in unless I'm with my native, 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 my motherfucking native, my 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 motherfucking native. Yeah, I'ma ride, I'ma die, and I'ma do it for my natives. So hooping and we're hooping, and I do it for my natives. For my natives, I put on for my natives. I show out for my natives, for my natives. I do this for my natives. I do this for my people. I do this for my tribe. I do this for myself. I gotta stay alive. My natives know what's up, cause my natives throw it down. Got my natives all around, from my town to your town. It ain't no problem, we do the damn thing. Posted with my BHAB, 59, 50 fitted, all red, everything, and you heard me right. I be swooping and we're hooping all damn night. I do this for my natives, I do this for my natives. We keep on hating, but I'm just demonstrating. I'm just demonstrating the ways I was shown.
Good, maybe they'll order more and get the ones I want.
You can leave me alone if you don't want problems. Me and my natives, yeah, we always gotta solve some. Cool that beef so we can eat and get about the day. I'ma ride, I'ma die, I'ma do it for my natives. I'ma ride for my motherfucking natives. I'ma die with my finger on the trigger. I've been grinding outside all day with my natives, and I ain't going in unless I'm with my native, 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 my motherfucking native, my 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 motherfucking native. Yeah.
Riding for my natives for the duration of my life. Reservation is the place I wanna find, so you better recognize I'm not stopping till I cop until my day of expiration and they hit my end of time. It's one of the expectations that I'm gonna live by. Savage, I'm a death is always represent my kind. I'm over explanation, you already know why. My natives.
I'ma ride for my motherfucking natives. Likely I'ma die with my finger on the trigger. I've been grinding outside all day with my natives, and I ain't going in unless I'm with my native, my native, my native, my native, my native.
These nev. Coming back at the end of the year like White Cliff. Everybody wear a mask. Fucking legs. Leg ulcers. Yay, leg ulcers.
Shot up him in DJ's pod too. At 1995, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna kick some.
I can't handle that right now. These nuts.
Why don't you come around here and I'll make you feel right at home? From the couch to the floor, we'll be in the zone. Let's get it on till the dawn arises. Kissing in the midst of the prayer horizon. Chemistry is what I'm feeling from you. A perfect love story with a rough draft prelude. I wanna make it right and follow right through. Honey, breakfast in bed is something I can do for you. Eat your mangoes from the tip of my tongue, and I can get it done. So baby, give me some, and I can give you some, then we can go from there. Keep it PG, but you see what I mean. Let's go. Let me walk and try. Watch the sunset as the moon and how the whales get rocked by the river and sit on the beach. Quiet times in the city can never be.
Go find bugs and kill them for me.
Do your thing. And I can do my thing, Louie can do my thing. Say, baby, you can do your thing, so do your thing. And I can do my thing, Louie can do her thing. It's showtime.
There's bugs everywhere. I know there are. They're not here.
I'm tough to be blind, I get it. Got it good, you're doing what you shouldn't. Let me tell you, don't you be misunderstood. I'm doing my thing, and you're doing yours. Making life happen and dreaming of a loads. You're dreaming NBA, and I'm dreaming world tours. And I think it's very sexy when you show me your full force. Dress and caress and get the best of me. I can be your best friend if you let me see what you believe. Honestly, the perfect life could be that, honey. I'll support you in the front row seats. And baby, you can do your thing, and I can do my thing. So we can do a thing. Say, baby, you can do your thing. So do your thing, and I can do my thing. So we can do a thing. Baby, you can do your thing, and I can do my thing. So we can do a thing. Say, baby, you can do your thing. So do your thing, and I can do my thing. So we can do
Around
a
and
thing.
around and around. And if it doesn't get you the first time, it gets you the second, or the third, or the fourth. I know somebody that doesn't smoke, doesn't even drink coffee. I've never seen them put anything to their mouth or their face ever. When I think about it. And just from socializing with people, even outside, they fucking, now they're coughing. They're coughing bad. They're coughing like a chain smoker. They don't even smoke. So they didn't pass nothing or touch nothing. No, somehow through the air.
Feel the energy. Rockers. Feel the energy.
It's alright.
The prophecy. Push on hip hop. White get your body rock. And we won't stop. Get your body rock. And we
The mind of a killer, the mind of a maniac, the mind of a lunatic, the mind of a native who ain't giving up, a native who don't give a fuck, a native with the Zulus, a native of his crew. I got the mind of a killer, the mind of a maniac, the mind of a lunatic, the mind of a native who ain't giving up, a native who don't give a fuck, a native with the Zulus, a native of his crew. I have a few scruples and most people don't. I'm a crazy little bastard, full-blown criminal, savage through the through for my warrior I have known. The game that I was shown, I keep to my own. I got a ill temper in a very short fuse. The patience that I got, you don't want me to lose. I'm known to blow up, I'm known for destruction, I'm known for the wicked. The wickedness of the blood in my veins, and the ways I'll never change. I'm slowly going insane, she keeps fucking with my brain. I'm lost in the sauce, can't find my way out. I'm from a small town and we don't fuck around. You can hate all you want, shit ain't gonna stop me. I'm stomp up and down the block and keep on romping. I'm romping and rolling. rolling and romping this hut boy hustle shit ain't no gonna stop. The mind of a killer, the mind of a maniac, the mind of a lunatic, the mind of a native who ain't giving up, a native who don't give a fuck, a native with the screws, but ain't a fucking screw. I got the mind of a killer, the mind of a maniac, the mind of a lunatic, the mind of a native who ain't giving up, a native who don't give a fuck, a native with the screws, but ain't a fucking screw.
60 years. And like your family, we're doing our best to stay positive.
Dude, that's 60 years. Hold on.
I'd like to thank all our team members for their continued commitment to
Proud to serve
Ontarians
Ontarians for 60 years. You gotta be here 60 years to say Ontarians without stuttering. I'm only saying it because it's so fucking hot.
Even
I can never say that word. I hate that word because I can't say it. Ontarians. No, buddy, you got it wrong. No, I'm from here. You don't understand.
Want to be there for your parents and grandparents.
Bring my birth certificate. No, I can't be real. You can't say the
Direct
word.
Alert by TELUS Health can be. This personal emergency response service gives your loved ones access to 24/7 support at the push of a button, and knowing they're taken care of takes some of the worry away. Direct Alert by TELUS Health is simple to install yourself, shipped directly to you, and starts at $25 a month. Right now, you can save up to $180 a year on select plans. Visit
We are not responsible for installation errors.
680 news time, 8:51. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones in the traffic center. Here's Carlin Donahue.
This report is brought to you by the Ontario Ministry of Health. Traveling westbound on the 401 this evening from Mississauga Road to Winston Churchill, 2 right lanes are closed off. That's due to an earlier truck fire, which they're now in the process of cleaning up. So everything's moving pretty much okay through that stretch. If you do want to take an alternate route, though, Dairy, Steels, and the 407 are viable options. Eastbound 401 at Winston Churchill, they've also taken out the left lane there to assist in the cleanup of this situation. Other than that, there is nothing happening on your major GTA routes right now. On our city streets, though, we do have a full closure of Bathurst, both north and southbound from King Street to Fort York, and that is due to an ongoing police investigation. To all our frontline heroes who keep us safe, we say thank you. Protect them by staying home, paid for by the Government of Ontario. Your next report's coming up at 9:01, and now with the forecast, here's Jason Fraser.
Will likely remain dry throughout the evening time, but overnight through tomorrow morning, we could end up seeing a quick thunderstorm moving across the GTA. We will end up seeing rain throughout tomorrow as well. We could see anywhere between 5 to upwards of 20 millimeters of some rain, and this is all associated with a massive storm that continues to move up from the United States across Ontario over the next 24 hours. What's going to end up happening as far as the temperature goes, we're going to end up reaching a high around 16 degrees, but tomorrow night's low is around -2. And as it continues to rain, we're going to be on the back edge of that cold air, and that's going to likely make sure that some of those raindrops end up turning into some flurries. On Tuesday, the storm exits our region, and we will see some sunshine, but also can't rule out the possibility of some stray flurries, as I like to call them, impacting our area. High temperature on Tuesday of 6 degrees. Our overnight low tonight is 6 degrees.
Right now in downtown Toronto, rain and 12 degrees, the same over at Pearson Airport. Coming up at the top of the hour, the latest on Ontario, reporting 401 new cases of COVID-19 and 21 deaths as the province works toward its goal of testing 14,000 people daily in a month. 680 news time, 8:53.
But then what do you do with those people?
Hey guys, for this weekend only, Untuckit is having their best of spring promotion with 25% off all their spring favorites. It's never a good look when you untuck a long, bulky dress shirt, and that's why Untuckit makes sure it's specifically designed to be worn that way.
I'm from the West End. I'm from the West End. Nigga, what you saying? I'm from the West End. I'm from the West End. Yo, I'm coming straight from the West End. Move from the Jane to the West End. Watch how you talk when you walk through my hood, cause you know that my niggas be pressing. Heavy artillery weapons. Ain't really into the questions. I ain't condoning no violence. These youngins are wildin', they move kinda reckless. Got the keys, police Stay patting niggas, stay cheese, a familiar face taxing nigga. Safety, didn't even wanna slap the nigga, he made me. Ain't nobody telling me nothing. I knew from a youngin' that I be the one I hit something. Now all of these rappers is bugging. You live in the birds and you act like you came up from nothing. Shout out to my niggas on the plaza. Lane to connections, outside Gaza. When I roll my backwood, better have grabber. Never leave the house without my iPhone charger. Wallahi, my Molly's a rocker. Abdi Muhammad Mustafa. African man, that's my barber. Jamaican man, that's my shopper. Tell him the truth. Tell them the truth. These rappers, they lie in the booth. Lie in the booth. What's that got the realest? Just look at the proof. I'm living proof. The city's so litty cause we got the juice. We got the juice. So we got the juice, nigga. I'm from the West End. I'm from the West End. Nigga, what you saying? I'm from the West End. I'm from the West End. Nigga, what you saying? Bench strip, jungle to the Rex we deep. I can tell a West End nigga by the way you speak, Birds chirping loud in the hood, always lose they beaks. Know that shotty with bodies got dumped in the creek. Stop, freeze, what I mean looking for me. The chick I got that degree, what do you mean? Bitch, you don't know what I seen. Bitch, you ain't been on the scene. Record is clean, I'm too wavy. Make her get men wanna date me. I got the sauce, gravy. More than they cannot replace me. Cause I'm from the West End. Bitch, nigga better watch that top and find out you cop to the cops. So when it turn hot on your block. I'm from the West End. So you claim you a bad man, but y'all want a bad girl. Let me show you what a bad girl do, but you didn't know that. I'm from the West End. I'm from the.
It's not the pond. Across the pond is the other way.
Here at home, the TSX posted a weekly gain of around 8.4%, and it's coming off a 4-day rally. The TSX was higher by 1.7% on Thursday
You can't just change
166.
some of these
Now, in
things,
electronic
bro.
trade, we're paying close attention to oil. It's really picked up steam lately. It's higher by 6.5% to
The oil's really picked up
$4.25 a barrel.
steam. Did you catch yourself saying that out loud, bro?
The biggest production cut ever. After some reported opposition from Mexico, the group was able to agree to a cut of 9.7 million barrels a day that's going to be taking place from May 1st through to the end of
What's
June.
the price of a long ton of
Traders
coal?
remain concerned that this cut will still not be big enough to address the demand loss caused by the coronavirus pandemic. And on Thursday, we saw Western Canadian Select drop by more than 39% to $4.39 a barrel. As for gold and electronic trade, it's down by 0.7% to $1,739, coming off a weekly gain of roughly 7%. As for the Canadian dollar, it was higher by 19/100% on Thursday, closing at 71.51 cents US. Eyes are going to be on the Bank of Canada this week. It's set to release its latest interest rate decision and monetary policy report on Wednesday, and this comes as the central bank slashed rates to near zero in March. And according to Bloomberg, highlighting an analysis from Marijuana Business Daily, a number of cannabis companies could actually run out of some cash in the next few months with capital markets slowing down.
They don't have revenue.
Some
They
of the bigger
don't have
players on
sales.
Bay for
What's their
Thursday,
cash flow?
we
I've
saw
been
Canada
saying that for
grow
a
by
year. What's that?
1.9%,
Years. What's their cash flow?
$20.43. As for Aurora
How does
Cannabis,
it stop
it was
working
actually higher by
if they don't have cash
1.6%
flow?
on Thursday to $1.22. At the Business Center, I'm Carl Garnash.
Stop the spread. COVID-19 can be deadly. The time to act is now.
Two drags off a
Everyone
joint.
must do their part to stop the spread of COVID-19. Stay at home. Period. Full stop. Only go out if absolutely necessary. That means for groceries, for medications, for medical appointments, or if you provide an essential service. Protect yourself and others. Stay home. For information, visit ontario.ca/coronavirus. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
Being white matters.
So if our weather forecast is off by more than 3 degrees,
You could win cash.
details at 680news.com.
Does your credit card debt keep you up at night? I know mine did. Hi, I'm Adam, and 6 years ago, I was no different, so I started New Borrow. Our proven step-by-step system helps homeowners eliminate
how they
debt
see
and
us.
save thousands. Like
They're
Tina.
gonna need to borrow money. They're gonna be broke. They're gonna need money. Let's lend them some money.
Read hundreds of other 5-star Google reviews and apply today to start saving.
Use your loan to get a loan with New Borrow. Visit newborrow.com. License 13115.
What you need to know now.
680news.com.
Checking some regional weather conditions in Kitchener, mostly cloudy and 14 degrees. In Mississauga, partly cloudy and 9 degrees. In Oakville, overcast and 8 degrees. Right now downtown, 12 degrees with rain. James Mackin is our evening show editor. Tiwana Turner joins us at the digital desk. Amber LeBlanc is our news director. 680 News Time, 9 o'clock.
Number one for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News, Toronto.
Good evening. This is Sunday, April the 12th. I'm Eden Dveva.
And I'm Veronica Thor. Here's what's making news this hour.
Along with ramping up testing, the province is working on a new health data platform to help defeat COVID-19. The pandemic threat response, now in development. As the COVID-19 pandemic continues, healthcare providers are calling for more protection from the government.
Shelters across the city are now reporting outbreaks of COVID-19.
It's a historic Easter weekend, and the world is adapting. The Pope, the Queen, and leaders among those real Easter celebrations online during the pandemic.
No Rogers Cup in Montreal. Real Sociedad allowing players to begin training.
Forever.
A famous race car driver passes away in England. Sports at 15.
Oil surges as OPEC and its allies finalize the biggest production cut ever, and more selling could be on the way tomorrow as U.S. stock futures sink into the red. Business at 26.
680 News Time, 9:01.
It's time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Carlene Donahue. This report is brought to you by Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Not too much happening on your major routes this evening. Everything is really lightly traveled, but we'll tell you where we're seeing some construction or other instances that you might want to know about. On the westbound 401, Mississauga Road to Winston Churchill, there's 2 right lanes closed off, and that's because they're cleaning up a vehicle fire that happened earlier on. So no delays or anything like that. Like I said, not a lot of volume on the roads this evening. And then that instance is also taking out a left lane at Winston Churchill on the eastbound 401, and they're all just cleaning up right now. So that should be going away soon. Traffic spotters just called in saying that on the 403, the ramp going onto the eastbound 401 Express, there is a few stalled vehicles kind of in the right shoulder, right-hand lane area. So just be careful and make sure you're driving extra carefully through that stretch, just in case there are people standing on the roadway, which is not something we advise. And other than that, your major routes are in great shape this evening. On our city streets, we've got north and southbound Bathurst from King Street to Fort York closed down, and that's for an ongoing police investigation. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse would like to wish their guests the very best at this difficult time, and also remind you that takeout and delivery services are now available online. Place your order at rootschrissteakhouse.ca. Your next report's at 9:11 with the forecast. Here's Jason Fraser.
So as the evening progresses, we'll end up seeing more cloud cover across the GTA. Can't rule out the possibility of another rain shower developing before the midnight hour, though I think our greatest risk at seeing some precipitation will likely happen after the midnight hour. And we'll see the temperature dip down to the single digits. Our overnight low tonight is 6 degrees.
And right now in downtown Toronto, we have some rain falling. It's 12 degrees, and the same over at Pearson Airport. 680 News Time, 9:03.
Ontario is reporting 401 new cases of COVID-19 today and another 21 deaths related to the virus. But healthcare officials are already making improvements to response efforts to help curb the spread.
The province is now reporting a significant increase in testing numbers, as well as the development of a new online health platform. 680's Michelle Mackey has more.
I won't know what fucking
Data from Ontario's Ministry of Health indicates the number of COVID-19 tests completed over the past 24 hours nearly doubles the amount completed the day prior. Health policy expert Dr. Ahmed Faraz Khalid says increased testing is a critical step in the fight to flatten the curve.
If we continue to do those 3 key things, which is 1, physical distancing, 2, identify patients that are exhibiting signs of COVID-19 symptoms, test them early, and contact tracing, we're definitely on the right track.
The province is also developing a new platform to help defeat COVID-19. The Pandemic Threat Response, Panther for short, will hold secure health data that will allow researchers to better support health system planning and responsiveness, including the immediate need to analyze the current outbreak. Provincial officials say all measures will be taken to ensure patient privacy. I'm Michelle Mackey. This is 680 News at 9:04. Healthcare workers are calling out the government for failing to protect those who are trying to protect the public. Tina Danny of City News reports.
An ever-growing shortage of gowns and N95 masks as worldwide demand for the critical supplies soars amid the pandemic. We spoke with a number of nurses on this Easter Sunday who wanted to remain anonymous in order to protect their jobs. They tell us they are forced to sometimes beg for supplies.
Washing that shit on site.
And it just feels like you've been thrown to the wolves.
They tell us the government is maintaining an average 5-day supply of personal protective equipment at hospitals across the province and replenishing at that level for now until supply chains improve. So far, at least 777 healthcare workers have tested positive for COVID-19 in Ontario. That's roughly 12% of all cases in the province. Healthcare workers comprise only 3% of the population, meaning the infection rate is 4 times higher than normal. For City News, I'm Tina's Jamie. A Toronto refugee shelter is reporting 4 cases of COVID-19. The organization that manages the facility says multiple cases of the virus have appeared at other shelters in the city as well. In a release obtained by 680 News, Homes First Society says it was notified about the cases at Willowdale Welcome Center on Thursday. That facility currently houses more than 200 people, and they're reportedly awaiting additional test results. Ontario Premier Doug Ford has said workers and residents at shelters and care homes will be prioritized for COVID-19 testing.
And in Brampton, this year's home has confirmed an outbreak after 16 residents and 4 staff members were confirmed to have tested positive for the virus. The Holland Christian Home says staff at their Grace Manor location are now isolating at home. In a statement, the home says preventative measures are already in place and all usual outbreak control practices are being conducted. The Seniors Agency says all residents and staff are having their temperatures checked twice daily, and anyone showing any respiratory symptoms will be tested for the virus. Meantime, a facility in Markham for adults with physical and developmental disabilities remains in a state of emergency. On Thursday, dozens of staff members walked off the job after they learned that 10 residents and 2 employees had tested positive for the virus. 40 patients at the facility require full assistance from staff. Several managers had to step in and get on the front lines to replace the missing workers. Markham Mayor Frank Scarpini is asking anyone who can donate items such as gloves, masks, visors, and other personal protection equipment to come forward. This is 680 News at 9:07. At a time when Ontarians are being asked to stay home, some nasty weather is going to make things a lot easier. Here's 680 Sahara Hashimi.
The weather we have coming up is going to make you want to embrace the quarantine. We're expecting 30 to 40 millimeters of rain across the region. And
if anybody had planned ahead,
just Jason Fraser says tomorrow we might hit a high of 16 degrees, which is great, but after that, it's going to get cold and we might even see some snow.
We're going to see some much colder air below normal temperatures. By Tuesday, we're only going to see a high of about 6 degrees. And by Wednesday, it only improves maybe by about another half a degree to 1 degree or so. So get ready for some much colder weather for this week.
Jason adds that it's probably going to get slippery. So if you're leaving the house for essential reasons, of course, make sure you watch out for that. Stay safe. I'm Sahara Hashimi.
680 News Time, 9:08. An Easter Sunday unlike any other. Celebrations look a lot different this year, with most people staying inside. 680's Mike Black has more.
It's a historic Easter weekend, and the world is proving to be quite adaptable. With mass gatherings banned and much of the world homebound during the COVID-19 crisis, Easter plans and services aren't canceled, but they are being amended. In Rome, instead of outside in St. Peter's Square, Pope Francis held Easter Mass indoors. While practicing social distancing, he was joined by a handful of clergy and nuns, all while live streaming the service worldwide. And across the pond, the Queen said we need Easter now more than ever, but calling on our collective responsibility to stay home.
Easter will be different for many of us. But by keeping apart, we keep others safe. But Easter isn't cancelled.
By keeping apart? Because you mean we, you, or we, us?
And closer to home,
you crazy old bat.
Minister Justin Trudeau both sending out
by
their well
keeping
wishes,
apart,
but stressing the importance of physical distancing during the holiday weekend.
And let's put into practice what it truly means to love our neighbors as ourselves by making sacrifices.
Bitch, you stay on your side of the damn fence.
Let's stay home for them.
In a statement, Ford reassured
stay a
kids
meter
that the
away
Easter
from
Bunny
your
is indeed
fence,
an
I'll
essential
stay a
worker
meter
and will be
away.
delivering chocolates
Don't
and
get any
candies as per
closer.
usual. I'm Meg Black.
Still to come on
He's not
680
bringing nobody
News, traffic and
together.
weather together on the ones, but first to check on gas prices.
680 News Time, 9:09.
This is 680 News.
Introducing Irwin's new Command Lock Tape Measures, built for extra control with a finger brick, up to 14-foot reach, and a high-contrast DuPont Mylar film-coated white blade. Plus, it comes in a high-impact resistant case.
I want a black-coated blade.
Every quarter-inch matters. These tapes are designed with your job in mind. New Irwin Command Lock Tapes, built for the trades. Available only at Canadian Tire stores across Canada. Find out more at irwintools.ca.
Now the 680 News gas price update. Amber predicts the price of gas will not change at midnight. It's set to hold at 77.9 cents a liter. Traffic and weather together next. 680 News.
I'm from the West
Are you
End.
looking for a ministry inspected online high school?
I'm from the West End. I'm from the West End. Nigga, what you saying?
Hello. This call is from the Tax Department of Canada Revenue Agency. The reason behind this call.
I know. With that Spider-Man.
Hey, nothing on my wrist, nothing on my neck, nothing on my fist, it's all on my check. Don't you get the gist? I got the confidence, don't need a brand on my chest. Hey, I know what my value is. Hey, wealthy people don't need jewelry. Hey, look at 21 Savage and Bill Gates. Hey, the rap industry got a complex. I turned reality into a lucid dream. I turned a lucid dream into whipped cream. Cash rules, nothing around me. I only use it for paper planes, actually. I'm the opposite of Microsoft, I'm big and hard. Let that resonate, maybe a little more. I got that lyricism sprinkled with a lot of flow. I made my sauce authentic on a chopping board. Baby, it's spicy, be careful. Don't shake the bottle too much, be gentle. It's kinda high on the Scoville level. Don't burn your tongue, don't get it in your eyes too. I turned reality into a lucid dream. I turned a lucid dream into whipped cream. Cash rules, nothing around me. I only use it for paper planes, actually. Self-care, yeah, I got a lot of that. No food tastes good as having a six-pack. You should cut your snack same way you cut that crack. Then you wouldn't look fat as a Cadillac. Baby, looking like a snack. I can see you did them squats on the squat rack. I don't need a beat, I don't really need a track. You can be my producer with your booty clap. I turned reality into a lucid dream. I turned a lucid dream into whipped cream. Cash rules, nothing around me. I only use it for paper planes, actually. Baby, keep your pants on, zip tight, locked off. This is not the time for you to rack it up. We be in court, the judge is getting cross. You robbed the bank, baby, you took your mask off. You took 100K and left it at my front door. Thought it was funny, nice joke. Cause you know I bail you out no matter what the cost. I need that flavor, baby, shit, cause I got the sauce.
Take a closer look at these new license plates. They're plastic, so they bend. The license plates are curved. The newest license plates are curved. The fucking cameras can't see them for shit. That's hilarious. I want those.
Shut
come inside, though, that's a sad man. Just to put a couple hundreds for 100 days to my crib. I don't know why them girls like me. Everywhere I go, some bitches, man, trying to fight me. Maybe it's the white.
Let out a Blitzburn, nigga. Burn, nigga. No, coming. I'm already. Yeah. Hey, cruising down the street with my AR. Strapped in the whip. We all trying to score. Better get low, cause we flip cars. Ride high the tank. We seen it from far. Cruising down the street with my AR. Strapped in the whip. We all trying to score. Better get low, cause these hit hard. Strap high the tank. We seen it from far. I ain't gotta slide out the rap real quick, I'ma hop out the whip. Cruise down street on 48 or 15, got 50 in the clip. Can't run from this, ain't no kicking and shoot through bricks. Go out the blast, some donkey shit. Block full fat with the rubber grip. Little crips don't really no clues. Come through late night with crews. The dick gives stiff, don't move. Flex, I spit that cruising down the street with my AR. Strapped in the whip. We all trying to score. Better get low, cause we flip cars. Ride high the tent. We seen it from far. Cruising down the street with my AR. Strapped in the whip. We all trying to score. Better get low, cause these hit hard. Strap high the tent. We seen it from far. No trap bags when I come through. Them niggas know how these do. All they heard was some loud shots when the cops can't get no clues. I put in work with that Smith & Wesson. I put in work with that top two. AK like Bruce Lee, got cake back, no kung fu. A young nigga with a lot of cash, I fuck this bitch and pass it to the class. He mad, he ain't pound, so we kidnap the sass. No conversation in my Jason mask. Hey, cruising down the street with my AR. Strapped in the whip. We all trying to score. Better get low, cause we flip cars. Ride high the tent. We seen it from far. Cruising down the street with my AR. Strapped in the whip. We all trying to score. Better get low, cause these hit hard. Strap high the tent. We seen it from far.
I'm in this bitch, cruising my shit. I feel like the shit. Money ain't shit. The bitch ain't shit. I'm trying to get rich. Shooting ARs, ain't shooting out of cars. Pop out when I blitz. Me and bro don't mix. A brick for the kicks, ain't selling no nicks. I'ma feed my dogs to the arms I got. Spin these bands up tomorrow a lot. Get it for the low, we change it a lot. Young boss, they go to school, not tight. They like crazy, no one see real. Ain't changed, never told, kept it real. Sitting there, chop, get a couple mil. I'm getting tired, like taking no bills.
Cruising down the street with my AR. Strapped in the whip. We all trying to score. Better get low, cause we flip cars. Ride high the tent. We seen it from far. Cruising down the street with my AR. Strapped in the whip. We all trying to score. Better get low, cause these hit hard. Strap high the tent. We seen it from far.
Curve flip, no sandal. Try to get this mandal. Vandal come through, 4 niggas like Rambo. AR the commando. Hop up with them up, slide off the bando. I stop me camo. XD on sandal. Shots flip through his flannel. Then it's back to the bando. Sandals up on the floor, though. Picked up like 6'4". Slap him, that's a quick score. Hit his vein as a kickboard. He ain't get scored. Do a full thing like that. He ain't really stretch like that. Nigga bitch for a night pack. Pierce it for a right back. If you don't tuck it right back. Back down the street.
Strapped in the whip. We all trying to score. Better get low, cause we flip cars. Ride high the tent. We seen it from far. Cruising down the street with my AR. Strapped in the whip. We all trying to score. Better get low, cause these hit hard. Strap high the tent. We seen it from far.
fuck is that? What is that? No, I can't hear it. There's some kind of fucking weird beeping sound I never heard before.
Sex, money, get murder is what I fantasize. Sex, money, get murder is what I fantasize. Sex, money, get murder is what I fantasize. Sex, money, get murder is what I fantasize.
Plenty promises and promises, no family ties. Beating court cases surrounding like a gang of flies. I seen a gun that keep it moving, only fantasize about my equilibrium. I need to answer why. I need these banknotes in millions and pauses for my many men to lay up in the B and see this D up in between my thighs. I fantasize about these angry guys, killing fams they never knew. I wanna murder guys. You an accident murderer, you wanna earn your prize. Coming up off niggas looting all these hammers fly. I came up off the noodles, the hustle game was crucial. You govern, then they shoot you. Understand my whys? I can still be on my hammer shit. No, but the MC in me burning like this cannabis. I'm paramount on Atlas. Peep the flashy with the Sorrento. It's the only thing that's switching up. The game chill like menthol. Yo, who are you is kinfolk? I've been broken, came up and lost that and still cope. You niggas joking, still broke. Free my niggas in and out. I'm about to hit the books, I'm the accountant. Tunnel vision, rook versus all them crooks. I am surrounded. Pretty like the pound get. My right bucket louder than these gang events. Ain't none of you has been a threat. I'll show you how this 30 get. That's my age guard, it's in the next planet for the president. These pussies on the internet. So fashion on my game they rap. I never knew about Snoopy and Connect. I was the first female to rap the rappers rap. You twisted cause I cut the dress. So principled of older heads. You surely brought this bread though. When I was talking about my kinfolk, them years ended zero. There's deuces on the decade. You jump on so it's still fade. I'm coming through the fuck it up like Luke Cage. I'm wavy like the loose spray. And still on point. Come on, I'm flying in the loose cage. Good.
Money get murder is what I fantasize. Sex, money get murder is what I fantasize. Sex, money get murder is what I fantasize. Sex, money get murder is what I fantasize. When y'all were getting shot up, I was getting my bars up. I'm still getting caught one of the best in Toronto. Sex, drugs, and murder for money. You coming from me, I'm fucking gully. You still living, then you was lucky. You a public figure, trying your best. In this fight, we fight to the death. You bitches lost your sight and your breath. Taking your senses for granted. Became a patent Maryland Manson. You and your homie gon' be sharing your casket. We carried it ratchet. And said that you a burial package. It's very relaxing. The way we taking care of the faggots. Get carried in plastic and dumped from an aerial vantage. My mom used to say I'm always taking advantage. Nah, cause really I ain't taking the fat shit. Like these are kind of people make reports and they flag shit. And all my work float like a stay in a damn ship. So I defend this bitch, I be strapped like Stan Smith. And boy, that ain't no reference. I love the glizzy 1911, my preference. Get you fired from your job with a severance. I kill the biggest bear like the Revenant. Don't wear your fair bits so everybody shares it. Fuck around with Charlie, bro, I'm getting on some murder shit. Big gun, and you know I'm gonna defend the turf with it. Bubble like a stripper on the floor when I'm working it. Shake up your vehicle like it's turbulence. My A-Rap keep explosives when it's turbulence. You feeling cold, I'll turn the heat on you, courteous. My treaty niggas put the poison in your curry dish. Mr. Obia, mix the potty, burger heads and okra. Boy, I'll get you soaked up. Tie them up and roped up. Chain look like gold dust. What's the one you know us? Vest on and still get your dough cut. Sex, money, get murder is what I fantasize. Sex, money, and murder is what I fantasize. Sex, money, and murder is what I fantasize. Sex, money, and murder is what I fantasize.
Let's keep each other company virtually. Post a pic or video of what you're doing with the hashtag social distance run. And united by sports. Sportsnet Fun Night, the fan hosts and staff will post their stories so we can all get through this together. Just remember, stay at least 6 feet away from anyone else and keep washing your hands.
6'8".
I'm Simon Bennett.
You're listening to All News Radio 680 News. Coming up in just 60 seconds, our weekend business report. 680 News Time, 9:25.
David Jones here from Hire the Gardener. COVID-19 has brought a lot of change. I hope you're coping well. Many have asked me if we're still open. Absolutely. The grass will still grow, weeds will still need picking, and the gardener is still 100% committed to maintaining and beautifying the 24/7 view from your window. You don't have to come near us, but you can definitely wave to us. Talk to us at hirethegardener.com. Take care of your home, and let's all take care of each other.
This is an important message from the city of Toronto.
I'll take care of me,
Stay
motherfucker.
home. During the COVID-19 pandemic, social distancing means staying home. Only go out for absolute essential needs, like food and medicine. We can't emphasize the importance of this enough. Stay 6 feet apart to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Avoid contact with others. Essential and critical services are being maintained. Please do your part. Learn more at toronto.ca/COVID-19.
680 News Time, 9:26. Now time for the 680 Business Report with Carl Garnish.
Oil's in focus as OPEC and its allies finalized the biggest oil production cut in history today. After days of back and forth negotiations, the group agreed to a cut of 9.7 million barrels a day that will begin on May 1st and will continue through the end of June to address the demand loss caused by the coronavirus pandemic. However, the group was apparently looking for a cut of 10 million barrels a day, but Mexico reportedly opposed its cut of 400,000 barrels, settling on 100,000. And to end Mexico's holdup, U.S. President Donald Trump apparently said Friday that the U.S. would also cut production. In electronic trade, we saw oil higher by more than 6% as it comes off a weekly loss of more than 19%. As for Western Canadian Select on Thursday, it dropped by more than 39% to $4.39 a barrel. Now, U.S. stock futures showed a little back and forth at the open, pulling back from earlier gains, and analysts say more selling could be on the way as the International Monetary Fund is poised to slash its outlook on the world economy as it holds its spring meetings virtually. Dow futures saw a drop around 1.7% or 400 points at the open, while S&P and NASDAQ futures fell by at least 1.5%. Now, all three U.S. benchmarks did see a weekly gain of at least 10%.
A slice of pizza costs more than a barrel of oil. Hold on, there's really wrong here.
Here at home, the TSX posted a weekly gain around 8.4%, and it's coming off a 4-day rally. On Thursday, the TSX was up by 1.7%, a gain of 240 points to 14,166. Gold and electronic trade did fall by more than 1%. And the Bank of Canada is set to release its latest interest rate decision and monetary policy report on Wednesday. It comes as the bank made 2 unscheduled rate cuts last month, which brought interest rates to near zero. The Canadian dollar on Thursday was higher by 19/100ths of a cent, closing at 71.57 cents U.S. At the Business Center, I'm Carl Garnish.
We make sure you're the first to know.
680 News.
The Government of Canada and public health experts are taking action to protect Canadians from COVID-19. Protect yourself and others, especially those with medical conditions and older adults. Wash your hands often. Avoid touching your face. Cough or sneeze into your arm and disinfect surfaces. You should also avoid crowded places. Avoid all non-essential travel. And if you're sick, stay home. To learn more, visit canada.ca/coronavirus. A message from the Government of Canada.
Hey guys, for this weekend only, Untuck It is having their best of spring promotion with 25% off all their spring favorites. It's never a good look when you untuck a long, bulky dress shirt, and that's why Untuck It makes shirts specifically designed to be worn that way. Untuck It offers 50 fit combinations, so tall, short, slim, and bigger guys can experience the perfect fitting shirt. And this weekend only, you can now get 25% off at untuckit.ca during their best of spring promotion. Use promo code BEST25 for 25% off. That's untuckit.ca, code BEST25.
Right now in downtown Toronto, overcast, 11 degrees, 680 News is CFTR AM Toronto. Listen 3, 4, 5 times a day and always be in the know. You can also find out how to hear us on your smart speaker phone or HD radio at 680news.com/listen. 680 News time, 9:30.
Number 1 for news in Toronto. This is 680 News.
Good evening. This is Sunday, April the 12th. I'm Veronica Thor.
And I'm Eden Taveva. Here's what's making news this hour. Along with ramping up testing, the province is working on a new health data platform to help defeat COVID-19. The pandemic's threat response, now in development.
A markable for adults with disabilities remains in a state of emergency tonight after staff walked off the job on Thursday because of a COVID-19 outbreak. It's a historic Easter weekend and the world is adapting. The Pope, the Queen, and leaders among those bringing Easter celebrations online during the pandemic.
The weather we have coming up is going to make you want to stay home. We're expecting a significant amount of rain and temperatures may even drop below zero.
The Rogers Cup in Montreal will have to wait another year. A famous driver passing away in England, and Real Sociedad begins training with individual players. Sports at 45. Oil gained ground following a historic production cut by OPEC and its allies, and investors could hit the sell button to kick off the week as U.S. stock futures slide.
There's a
Business at
gigantic
56.
barcode.
680 News time, 9:31.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Carly Donahue.
This report is brought to you by mymuskokacottages.com. Not much happening. Every route right now is really lightly traveled, but we do have some cleanup going on the 401. Westbound on the 401 from Mississauga Road to Winston Churchill, there's 2 right lanes blocked off, and that is due to a collision earlier that they're now cleaning up off of the highway. That's also affecting the eastbound 401, so just a left lane at Winston Churchill is closed because of that, and I'm assuming this is going to be here for a little bit longer because they've been up for about 4 hours now cleaning this up, so we'll keep you posted on that. Other than that, nothing to report on your major routes. Just a small thing on your city streets here. North and southbound Bathurst is shut down from King Street to Fort York, and that is due to a police investigation. Muskoka realtor Bob Clark is unveiling $60 million worth of luxury lakefront cottages this spring. For galleries and virtual tours, visit mymuskokacottages.com. Your next report's coming up at 9:41 with the forecast. Here's Jason Fraser.
Well, the rainy pattern is going to pick up here across the GTA, and later on tonight, we are going to see increasing amounts of clouds. The greatest chance at us seeing some precipitation is likely going to happen overnight. We could end up seeing a thunderstorm develop. Low tonight is 6 degrees.
Right now in downtown Toronto, overcast, 11 degrees, and appears near 42 clouds and 10. 680 News time, 9:32.
As Ontario reports 401 new cases of COVID-19 and 21 new deaths today, the province says they're working to increase the number of daily tests to 14,000 in a month.
680's Michelle Mackey joins us with why this weekend marks a significant step closer to that goal, as well as details around a new platform in development. Ontario's Ministry of Health is reporting more than 6,800 tests over the past 24 hours, nearly double the amount completed the day prior. Health policy expert Dr. Ahmed Faraz Khalid says testing is critical for 4 main reasons.
Find cases faster, intervene earlier, reduce the spread of the virus, and to essentially save the life that we need to in the province.
Along with ramping up testing, the province is developing a new health data platform that will allow researchers to better detect, plan, and respond to the outbreak. The platform, titled the Pandemic Threat Response, or PANTHER for short, will hold secure health information such as discharge summaries of hospital stays and medical drug claims submitted to the Ontario Drug Benefit, while ensuring the privacy of all patients. The Ontario government plans to launch the platform on June 1st. I'm Michelle Mackey.
You let the guy stick his hand up your ass.
COVID-19 cases among healthcare workers is at an all-time high. Tina Yazdani of City News spoke with Michael Hurley from the Ontario Council of Hospital Unions on the worrying trend.
You have to say that if the infection rate is 4 times normal, there's got to be a profound failure in terms of the protection that these workers have at their disposal.
So far, at least 777 healthcare workers have tested positive for COVID-19 in Ontario.
That's roughly 12% of all cases in the province. The Premier has been vocal in expressing his disappointment in the continued lack of PPE and has vowed that never again will Ontarians have to rely on other countries for these critical supplies. And his government issued a call to action on March 21st asking businesses to help make equipment. In the 3 weeks since, they've received 14,000 submissions that have translated to 5.1 million gloves, 20 million masks, 250,000 face shields, and 50,000 units of clip-on hand sanitizer for OPP officers. Still, they say more are needed. For City News, I'm Tina Jamie.
Clip-on hand sanitizer for?
It's the 680 News at 9:35. Markham Home for Adults with Disabilities says it's working to ensure residents receive, quote, full care and support as it grapples with the major staffing shortage. Participation House saw most of its staff walk off the job after they were informed about an outbreak of COVID-19 on Thursday. Home's Executive Director Shelley Brillinger confirming the 680 that they are actively working to ensure the center has staffing coverage for special positions, including nurses, personal support workers, and food services. As of Friday, 10 residents and 2 staff members had tested positive for the virus. The facility is home to 42 adults with disabilities.
Meantime, a refugee shelter based in Toronto is reporting 4 cases of COVID-19 at their facility. Home First Society was made aware at the Willowdale Welcome Center on Thursday. The organization is still waiting to hear back on multiple other tests. The facility currently houses more than 200 people. Organizers say that the virus has also popped up at many similar facilities across the city. Premier Doug Ford says workers and residents at shelters and care homes will be prioritized for COVID-19 testing.
Indigenous tourism operations are calling on the federal government now to increase their funding to help businesses survive the pandemic. James Kalpar, a Haida business owner, says not enough is currently being offered.
I want to be clear that the current packages offered by our Canadian government do not meet the needs of most operators.
He says he hopes a resolution is found soon so his and other businesses can survive.
680 News Time, 9:36. It's a different kind of Easter Sunday this year, with church services streaming online and families unable to gather together for dinner. 680's Meg Black joins us with more on how people are adapting to the new normal.
Easter isn't canceled, but it is going online, with gatherings banned and public health officials urging everyone to stay home. Families, faith communities, and congregations around the world are finding a way to mark Easter, but at a distance. While the outbreak made traditional church services impossible, Pope Francis held Easter Sunday Mass online. Pope Francis's virtual Mass was repeated throughout the world. In South Korea, where one outbreak was tied to a church sect, services were largely held online nationwide. Meantime, in the UK, the Queen said Easter will be different, but we need it now more than ever.
But by keeping apart, we keep others safe. But Easter isn't cancelled.
Here at home, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau called on Canadians to go online and refrain from seeing extended family to flatten the curve.
It won't be easy to celebrate Easter without being surrounded by our extended family or larger group of loved ones. But we have to do it.
I'm Meg Black.
We have to do
With physical distancing in full effect, the storm is making its way to the GTA this weekend. 680's Aaron Shimi is on the Weather Watch and joins us now with more.
It's shaping up to be the perfect day to stay in quarantine. Why? We have a lot of rain on the way, so get cozy. We are expecting 30 to 40 millimeters of rainfall across the region. This is all associated with a massive low-pressure system that is expected to continue to affect Ontario over the next 48 hours. Our meteorologist Jason Fraser says we might hit a high of 16 degrees tomorrow, but after that, it's poised to get a lot colder than the seasonal average.
We're going to actually go below where we should be right around this time of year. Our average low temperature was about 0 degrees, but I think in some parts of the GTA will actually hit anywhere between a -2 and about -6.
Jason adds that it might be slippery, so if you have to go outside, make sure to watch out for that. I'm Sahar Hashimi.
And Easter Sunday also marks 40 years since Terry Fox began the Marathon of Hope in St. John's, Newfoundland.
The pain I feel is nothing. I've seen little kids with so much pain. Somewhere, the hurting must stop.
Today, many Canadians consider Fox a hero. Since Terry's death, more than $750 million has been raised for cancer research through the annual Terry Fox Run.
Terry's brother, Daryl, says before the pandemic broke out, there was a push on social media and in his hometown for Terry Fox to appear on the next Canadian $5 bill. Daryl says his brother's message and acts resonate with him on the anniversary.
I want to station on the $5 bill.
Sometimes it feels endless.
I'm Lucas Castelletto.
Still to come on 680 News, traffic and weather together, but first we'll check where the price of gas is headed at midnight. 680 News time, 9:39.
We're two men and a truck. So, you're moving to a new home, and all that's left to do is to call a mover you know you can trust. Well, naturally, you think two men and a truck, since you know they have lots of men and lots of trucks.